Hello and welcome to our video on qualified charitable distributions. My name is Hope Carlson and I'm a lead advisor at Dowling & Yankee. Let's dive in. What are qualified charitable distributions, or QCDs? They're a donation made directly from your IRA to a 501c3 charity. Now, there are a few nuances that make giving by QCD particularly compelling. First of which is that it can fulfill your RMD, or required minimum distribution, in whole or in part. When you give by QCD, it is excluded from your income on your taxes, and we'll talk a little bit later about why this matters. You do need to be at least 70 and a half years old, and this is still true even though the Secure Act has now changed the age to start required minimum distributions to 72. You can give up to $100,000 a year via QCD. How does it work? Well, you will receive a check made out directly to the charity coming from your IRA. The check comes to you first, and you deliver it to the charity. If you're a client at Dowling & Yankee, we will help you prepare all of the paperwork. You simply need to tell us that you are interested in making QCDs, the amounts and the charities to which you'd like to give, and we'll take care of the rest. We'll even include letters for you to enclose with the checks when you send them to the charities. Otherwise, talk to your IRA custodian if you're interested in giving via QCD. There are many tax benefits of QCDs. We touched briefly on how they can fulfill all or part of your RMDs and how they are excluded from your gross income on your taxes. But what does this mean? You will likely pay lower taxes. Your adjusted gross income is also lower. And this is important because your AGI is a threshold that determines the Medicare premiums you pay, whether you're subject to the net investment income surtax, your Social Security taxes, and more. You can also still take the standard deduction, even if you're giving $100,000 to charity via QCD. And especially if you're giving above and beyond your RMDs via QCD, you reduce your IRA balance even further, which means that your future RMDs and future taxes are lower. Let's look at an example. Let's say you'd like to give $30,000 this year, and you're deciding between giving $30,000 in cash or $30,000 as a QCD. For simplicity's sake, we'll assume that you have $100,000 in income, comprised of $30,000 in a required minimum distribution, $25,000 in taxable Social Security income, and $45,000 in portfolio income, interest, dividends, etc. We'll also assume that you have no other itemized deductions or deductions before your AGI, that you're married filing jointly, and that you and your spouse are 75 years old. So what happens with your taxes? Your adjusted gross income is $100,000, that full amount of income, if you are giving cash, but $70,000 if you're giving QCDs, because the $30,000 QCD fulfills your required minimum distribution and is never counted in your gross income to begin with. You would itemize your charitable deduction if you're giving cash for $30,000, but you would take the standard deduction if you're giving via QCD, and that this year in 2020 is $27,400 for a couple who are both 75 years old. Your taxable income would therefore be $70,000 if you're giving cash, but $42,600 if you're giving by QCD. So the same donation has a dramatically better tax impact if you choose to give by QCD. There are a few considerations to keep in mind if you give in this manner. First, you cannot make QCDs to a donor advised fund. If you'd like more information on donor advised funds, please see our companion video on donor advised funds on our website. Also, you do need to be 70 and a half years old to give via QCD. Be sure to notify your accountant too. QCDs often show up just as distributions on your tax forms, so your accountant needs to know that these have been charitable donations. The check from your IRA also needs to be written directly to the charities and not to you as an individual first. Otherwise, it will not count as a QCD. You also need to get an acknowledgement letter from the charity. And if you have required minimum distributions, be sure to make your QCDs first to fulfill all or part of your required minimum distributions. Above all, talk to your financial and tax advisors because your situation is unique to you and may have special considerations they can help you with. If you would like more information about donor advised funds, qualified charitable distributions, or giving appreciated stock, please see the resources on our Insights page on our website at dywealth.com/insights. Thank you for your time today, and please let us know if you have any questions. Have a good day.